Hey guys, how you doing? It's KJ here from the Scariest Movie Ever, and I have a video I wanted to show here and give you an idea of some very interesting kind of spiritual language I'm seeing out there in the media. In particular, it has to do with Conchita Wurst. You may have heard of her. She's the or him. It's the uh, it's the androgynous person that recently won the Eurovision Song Contest 2014, Austria. So I'm going to come back to that in just a second. You're probably familiar with who it is. You'll see her or him here in just a moment. A lot of people wrote to me. A lot of you guys have been writing to me asking me about this. Like, what do you think about it? What does it mean? Things like this. So I did a little look into it, and I found some really interesting connections. I want to show you these here right now. Before I do, if you're not familiar with my work on my channel, please check out the channel sometime, The Scariest Movie Ever. I get into some kind of weird stuff, esoteric, cult-type languages as well, and spiritual language all around us. And this is a perfect example. Wait till you see kind of what I found here. So this story right here came out a while back, a year and a half ago, maybe, or so. Let me see. Yeah, it's been about a couple years almost. But it was a big mainstream news story. You can find it all over the place. It was covered in a lot of different places. So for me, a lot of the times, it's not even so much just the story itself. It's like what's being covered. What are they trying to tell us? What's being put out there? And all this stuff connects. And you'll see how that works right here. So here's the story. Nativity scenes baby Jesus replaced with a gnome. I'll play a little bit here.
Every year, the holidays bring along an abundance of gorgeous, colorful, and religious outdoor displays. However, those same holiday exhibits can unfortunately attract thieves and pranksters. Recently, a baby Jesus statue was stolen and replaced with a garden gnome at a nativity display in Birmingham, United Kingdom.
Okay, so that's the story. Now, they go into it a little bit more, but I mean, it doesn't seem like that big a deal, right? I mean, you wouldn't think this would be some big mainstream story. Oh, a nativity scene. They stole the baby Jesus and put a gnome in there. I mean, this kind of stuff happens all the time. They're always, you're always hearing stories about people busting up nativity scenes or stealing things or whatever from these nativity scenes, and not that uncommon, really. But then here's the story that comes out: nativity scenes, baby Jesus replaced with gnome. And I believe the reason they put that out is not much longer, or actually a little bit about a year or so later. Then we get this story right here. Check this out. Hopefully you can hear some. Woman drops her garden gnome, shattering it on the sidewalk. And wait till you see what she finds inside.
Well, we've all seen those cutely, creepy little garden gnomes.
Yeah, they stand guard on the lawns everywhere. But listen to this. The other day, a woman dropped her gnome on the sidewalk. It broke. What was inside is now front page news in Giles County. Channel 4's Dennis Ferrier has details on the mystery.
Heather Andrews has a friend who always gives her garden gnomes. It's a gag between them. But this time, this gnome was carrying a gag of its own.
I opened the door and it dropped, fell. I went to pick up the pieces and I noticed something inside of it.
Take a look for yourself. There appears to be a statue inside the gnome that was formed at the time of the making of the gnome. It's fused to the top and to the bottom.
I think that the face has really intricate detail and someone spent a lot of time on the face. The anatomy on the body looks feminine to me, but I don't know, I'm just biased to it, I guess.
Some people say it's the head of Jesus on a woman's body, or maybe it's an angel.
Yeah, and it is the head of Jesus on a woman's body with no arms. You can take a look at that. Look the story up yourself. You can get some clearer pictures of it. But are you kind of seeing what I'm showing you here? Excuse me. I was a little bit wrong about the timing. This story just came out May 20th of this year. So this is a pretty new story. The other known story had been about a year and a half, 2 years or so. But you see the connection here. So now we have the Jesus inside of the gnome. And it's a transgender Jesus. It's the Jesus head with the body of a woman and no arms found inside this gnome. Interesting story, but you see the connection there. This is the way these things work. These are spiritual languages. It's a kind of way to kind of prepare us or indoctrinate us. It's almost like a spiritual predictive programming or social engineering, if you will, preparing us for some bigger ideas to come. And what that bigger idea is to come, then we leads us over here to Conchita Wurst, which was the transgender. Let's see if I can get a shot over here. There she is. I know the quality is not the greatest, but you've probably seen this anyway. It was kind of a big deal. It was all over the place. But we got to pay attention. They're telling us things, okay? And I believe what this Conchita Wurst represents is the transgender Jesus that is on the way, the Antichrist, the false god, and it's definitely coming. Some connection there, I'm sure, with the alien invasion, or the fake alien invasion. I've done a lot of work on that on my channel as well. So just buckle up. But we got to listen to what she or he says right here. And here's their message after they won.
It's dedicated to everyone who believes in a future of peace and freedom.
Dedicated to everyone who believes in a future of peace and freedom.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
We are unity.
We are unity.
And we are unstoppable.
And we are unstoppable. Like I said, my work isn't for everybody. Not everyone's going to catch things like this sometimes, but some of you out there get this and you see what we're talking about. I've done a lot of work on the idea of a second race around us, the serpent race around us. A wheat and the tares is another thing to look into, the idea of a separate race among us. These things are coming. They're going to reveal themselves. All this stuff is connected back to the fallen angels, and then the Illuminati, of course, who communes with these fallen angels at the very top. And then it all kind of filters back down to us. Sometimes we're given pieces of the puzzle, and this right here is a big piece of the puzzle, I believe. Again, it's showing us what's to come, and this is what's coming. This is another reason we're seeing this gay agenda, quote unquote, pushed so much in our culture. Everywhere you look, it's gay this, gay that, gay this, you know. So all this stuff is working together to prepare the world for what's to come, for this Antichrist. And this Antichrist will be a transgender Jesus. It will be an androgynous type being. So this is what they're trying to tell us here. And right out of Conchita Wurst's own mouth, they are unstoppable. So they're on the way. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know how it's all going to play out exactly, but I know we're in for some very interesting times and a very interesting show. So there you go, folks. Thank you very much. Keep your eyes peeled out there. When you see these synchronicities and some of these connections, try to follow up on them. And oftentimes you're going to find some very interesting messages revealed, okay? Anyway, take care, and I'll talk to you real soon.